We're here to make a new type of news.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Making news just for you. It's February 22nd here in Seoul. I'm Shin-Yoon, and this is News Generation, where we make the news at Arirang's very own open studio. Every morning, we'll discuss the top issues and latest current affairs affecting people in their 20s and 30s. Joining me in the studio is Kim Xiang.
Good morning, yeah.
And Nail Song.
Hi, everyone.
Both are here to speak on behalf of their 20s and 30s. Now, every day we do make a news feed for the new generation, and we're looking at the top trending hashtags on social media over the past 24 hours. Here they are. The first hashtag is same-sex couples. The Seoul High Court on Tuesday ordered the National Health Insurance to resume coverage for couples in a same-sex relationship. Back in January 2021, the Seoul Administration Court had dismissed a lawsuit filed by So Sung-uk. So had filed against the NHIS for denying insurance coverage by not recognizing his partner Kim Yong-min as a dependent, as the NHIS would do for other married couples. The second hashtag is Robotis. This Korean robot company has caught the interest of younger people in Korea by developing a self-driving robot that operates outdoors. It's called Worker Ant, and this robot can travel around 700 meters from the shop to the head office without any human assistance. Its main job is to deliver coffee. The third hashtag is earthquake. Just 2 weeks after a massive earthquake killed tens of thousands of people in Turkey and Syria, another one struck Turkey's southern Hatay province. Once again, it's near the Syrian border, and this time the magnitude was at 6.3. Now, NewsGen shares our deepest condolences to Turkey and Syria. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into the first hashtag, same-sex couples. South Korea's High Court decision is shedding light on whether the country is closer to achieving marriage equality. The court's ruling is significant because it was the first decision that legally recognized same-sex couples. Some LGBTI activists said though Korea seems to be progressing, there's still a long way to go to end discrimination. Korea still hasn't legalized same-sex marriage. As of now, there are only 33 countries in the world that do so. Taiwan was the first Asian country to have legalized it in May 2019. Now, if we expand our news feed in the studio, Nael, what did you think about the court's decision?
You know, as we keep mentioning here, the new generation is all about the equality and freedom of choice and who you want to be, and whatever your personal beliefs are, it's just that you need to respect what other people believe and who they want to be, and you need to treat them with kindness. And national health insurance is something that should be guaranteed for all the citizens, so why not these people?
Right. And Xiong, do you think South Korea is on its way to achieving marriage equality then?
Yeah, I mean, South Korea has made some progress towards achieving marriage equality, but I think it's still got a long way to go. Under the current law, the definition of marriage is limited for a man and a woman. So, there has been attempts to revise this, but same-sex marriage or gay marriage still remains illegal under Korean constitution. There have also been some positive steps taken by the government to protect the rights of LGBTQ individuals. Preparation for the anti-discrimination law dates back 20 years to 2003. As a result, a draft anti-discrimination law was drafted in August 2004, and continuing until today, it is heavily debated whether it can be put into legislation. However, there is still significant opposition to same-sex marriage in South Korea, with conservative groups and religious organizations leading the opposition. For example, in 2007, the Justice Department announced an anti-discrimination act will be enacted, but it was revised under pressure from the National Assembly's Missionary Union to omit sexual orientation along with 6 other types of discrimination. With the expiration of the 17th National Assembly, however, even this legislation was scrapped. According to Pew Research Center, however, there is some positive news. South Korea's acceptance of homosexuality in general grew in the past 2 decades from 25% to 44%, showing some positive signs for improvement. However, progress towards marriage equality has been slow, and it is unclear when or if the Korean government will ever legalize same-sex marriage.
Right, I think you mentioned a really good point there, because it's all about legalizing things and the legal procedures related to this topic, and that is why we would need to gear a lot of attention for this upcoming news story. And that was our news feed for this Wednesday. Moving on, every day we do discuss topics that interest or are related to the younger generation. Here's what we have for you today. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, many companies have adopted a hybrid work model where employees can choose to come to the office or work at home. Naturally, more employees have become used to working at home and having a lax dress code, especially a lot of younger workers. It seems that as long as you're good at your job, it's okay wherever you work and whatever you wear. Today, NewsGen looks at 3 questions. 1. What does the younger generation in Korea think about dress codes at work? 2. What clothes are considered inappropriate at the workplace then? 3. Which countries have the most relaxed dress code regulations? How far can people go? Today we're going to be talking about what the new gen thinks is appropriate to wear in the workplace. Here in Korea, there's been a popular controversy for years whether it's okay to wear yoga pants to work. So here in the studio, what are your thoughts on this?
I think the issue here is whether some clothes, some attires are appropriate for a certain time and space. Definitely yoga pants would be a little more controversial than some other workplace clothing, more casual clothing like jeans. But I think at the essence of this is the sort of mutual social agreement. I think business attire, especially in workplaces, is something that we agree to as a society. And even if you meet new people through business, you sometimes are definitely expected to wear at least business casual or smart casual, if not suits and things like that. It shows some sort of a degree of respect for your business partners and your potential co-workers and things like that. But of course, there are controversies because we should be able to wear whatever we want to. But in my opinion, I think the fact that it's a sort of work setting, it requires certain degree of business attire.
So in your standards, Xiong, you must respect us a lot because you're wearing a full-on suit.
I do. Look at you as well.
Yes, okay, we have you.
And I am completely disrespectful of all of you guys. But hey, maybe people feel a little more zen or calm or more focused in their yoga outfits. Who are we to judge, But remember that millennial with the AirPod? I don't remember who that was. But, the person who said, oh, my work efficiency goes up. And it's how you feel comfortable in your own clothes. And, for example, when I was taking my SATs, which is like a college level entry exam, you have to be focused. And I was pretty much dressed like this with my pajama pants. And yes, I'm wearing that to prove a point. But I'm focused. I came to work early and I am working really hard, everyone. I'm working hard. But, for some of my friends, they actually decided to dress up, wear heels, do their hair to be sharp, on point, and focused. And it's all, I respect all of that, but just let me do my thing. You do you, be comfortable as long as you get the work done. Right.
And then what do you think, Xiong, is the appropriate attire to wear at work then?
To be honest, listening to Naola as well, and I've been thinking about this for a while as well, but I think it really depends on your profession and what sort of area of work you're into. So, I was based in sort of more diplomatic missions and things like international sort of business settings. So I was required to wear a suit. People will actually, think it's ridiculous if I turn up in my in a sweatshirt, in my trackies and in trainers and things like that. It would be actually quite rude for my business partner and things like that, which made me sort of wear more suits, which made me get into some more smart wear and build a taste for classic fashion.
You're tilted towards business casual then, right?
I'm definitely business casual, but I think it depends on your profession. So if you're a freelancer like Naola is, it shouldn't matter what you wear. Especially, it depends on as I said, on the profession. If you're working in the service industry, or if you're a policeman, fireman, if you're a bank teller, if you work in a department store, you are required to wear a uniform at workplaces. And I think uniforms are good because it indicates who you are in public spaces. It lets other people know that you're the service provider, not the customer. So it gets rid of the confusion. It also conveys certain image of the company that you're working for as well. So if your company says turn up in a suit, we do that. That's our dress code. We want a business attire. Then you should sort of abide to it because you work for the company.
Right, and you think that's related to your work attitude. But Nael, I think a lot of companies do think like Xiong, especially Korean ones. But how do you think millennials and Gen Z would feel about this?
Like Xiong mentioned, I do think that Korea tends to be a little more conservative than our Western nation friends.
Right.
And, I've seen people who have dress codes or uniforms at work and some places that don't, but then their seniors will kind of pressure them into having some sort of a dress code, like no socks that look like this, no certain colors of lipstick, and your hair needs to be a certain way. But, I think as long as it's not offending anyone, it's not, hazardous to anyone, you should be free to make your own choices. And besides, I hear from my foreign friends that Korea actually generally tends to have a higher standard of dressing. Like even in the subway or in the streets, you look at people. So whatever you see in the subway, I say is good.
All right. Then how far do you think we can go if there is no dress code? What is appropriate? And in order for us to find out, I actually have a few looks for you guys to judge.
Okay.
So there's a panel right next to you. Hold up the O sign and the X sign based on whether you think the look is appropriate or not.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at the first look. Take a look at the screen. That's a blazer jacket with short pants. I don't know who the model is, but I love her.
Huh, she looks familiar.
I think if the model was better, I would have a better judgment.
Oh my God.
But I think that deceives our perception.
Really?
It's a cute outfit. I would wear that, but I can't really pull off blazers very well, but it's a cute outfit.
Well, based on that, hold up O if you think it's appropriate to wear that in the office and X if it's not.
I think up to that standard, it's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah,
The
I mean-
short
summer
pants is
Yeah, I
okay?
mean, exactly. I mean, you're wearing it, that's you, I guess.
Yeah.
It gets hot.
Yeah, it gets hot, and I did have colleagues who wear something like that, just a blazer, and I think business casual is more sort of lenient towards women fashion as well.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, men are required to wear a suit. It's either suit or tie or nothing else. Anything else will be sort of more casual look. But I think women can pull off more sort of, casual sort of jackets and things like that and still be treated as, the high sort of suit level business casual.
Okay, well, I have another look for you.
Right.
And I brought it up a notch. Let's take a look at the next one. I think it's gonna be the same model from before.
Oh, who is that?
I have no idea, but she looks really nice.
That's cute.
She's not wearing any trousers?
No,
She is.
Those
she
are
is.
pink yoga pants. What do you guys think
the
about
topic of the
pink yoga
day.
pants? Exactly.
I mean, they're not even like hot pink. Not that there's anything wrong with hot pink. They look fine.
Indigo pink. So
Yes, they look
Niall,
fine.
You're holding up O, saying that that's okay to wear in the office?
It looks comfortable. I feel like you could focus better. I mean, unless you're really in a meeting with somebody else outside of the company, I think it should be fine.
As long as you're comfortable, right?
Yeah.
I feel
Are you wearing pink yoga pants now?
No, I'm not.
Maybe.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't wear that. That's a picture of you, but still yet chose to wear something more formal to work.
She respects us.
I respect you.
Hopefully.
With your standards.
Hopefully.
Now, take a look at the last look. Now, it's probably going to be the same model. Yes. How do you think
How
about
odd.
wearing hats?
We're 25 models signing up for this, and we only have you.
Competitive.
It was a very competitive batch of people. But look at that, wearing a hat to work. What do you guys think about that?
It's fine. I mean, maybe for Koreans, when you're wearing hats, it's because you couldn't wash your hair that day and you're
Exactly.
scared that it's going to stink people,
you're being more polite, actually.
Yeah.
And what about you, Xian? Oh, you've been adamantly holding up that.
Why?
That's why.
Are you a baseball player?
Oh, no, it's for the cute casual look.
And the
But
cups are cute.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I've been saying as well. I mean, if you wouldn't turn up like that to Arirang TV.
I mean-
it depends on your workplace.
Maybe I will.
A lot of
Exactly.
exactly. A lot of the IT industry people, startups and things like that, are perfectly fine. People dress like that all the time. I would be dressing like that if I worked in certain sectors. But I think it really depends on which sector you work for,
Where you are.
yeah, which industry you're in. To
Right.
be honest, yeah.
And both are very convincing arguments. But now, why don't we include a fashion expert in our discussions? She's actually a freelance fashion writer for the leading online lifestyle publication called The Trendspotter. We're now going to be speaking to Alexandra Phiem. She's a fashion writer for The Trendspotter, currently in Australia. Great to have you here, Alexandra.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on your show.
Hello, Alexandra.
Now,
Hi.
Alexandra, I would like to ask you the first question. What's the dress code like at most workplaces there in Australia?
Well, it really depends on where you work, as you guys were saying. Most of the time, the standard unspoken rule is smart casual. So pretty much what I'm wearing, a combination of maybe some casual pieces like a t-shirt and jeans, and then a blazer, nice shoes, nothing too revealing, nothing that looks dirty or unprofessional. You want to present your best self at the office.
Right.
Usually.
And do you two in the studio have any questions for Alexandra?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Alexandra, what are your thoughts on sort of today's discussion topic? I guess you've been hearing all our discussions.
Right.
I mean, do you agree with the growing number of millennials and Generation Zs that's trying to get rid of the dress code? And, would that boost productivity at work as well, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, when you think about a dress code, I think it depends entirely on where you are. Again, as you were saying, if you work in a bank or if you work somewhere where you have to present yourself in a very professional manner, I think it's important that you have a dress code. But typically speaking, I think that if there's no dress code, you will still usually wear smart casual clothes. You want to look nice. You want to put yourself in a work mindset. And just because if there's no dress code, millennials and Gen Z, I still think they know that you have to look nice. So you're not going to be showing up with toothpaste on your shirt and, wearing really dirty clothes that don't look professional unless you're at home. And if you're at home and you're wearing a shirt and tracksuit pants, no one will know. It doesn't matter as long as you get your work done. But I think that if you're surrounded by people, Gen Z and millennials will both just want to look their best.
Yeah, I also have a question along with that. So let's say that there isn't a dress code. How far can we go with that, do you think, in terms of, what we wear at work?
Yeah, look, personally, I think that the yoga pants might be better for workout, going to a cafe or something, and maybe not for the office environment. Typically speaking, in Australia, there's some rules where you don't have clothing that's too revealing, too tight, something that is distracting or, just a little bit more casual, meant for more personal activities. But yeah, I think that those pink leggings are a little bit too far, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
If they were darker, it might be better, because sometimes you see them walking on the street and it looks like they're wearing no pants at all.
Exactly.
That's what I thought as well.
Exactly.
So no to my pajama pants too, I'm guessing.
Well, if you were just on screen working, from home, I think it's totally fine. You don't have to wear any pants if you don't want to. But at the office, I do think that it's better to be presentable, because it's not just respecting the job, it's respecting other people as well. And if they get dressed up, I think it's a nice expectation for you to dress up as well.
Right, just put
Understood.
that effort in and show that you have really good work attitude. Thank you so much, Alexandra. And I'll definitely note it down. No pink yoga pants for me in the
No
office.
pajama pants in the office.
Maybe it was just that shade that threw me off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll look into more shades.
Thank you very
All right,
much,
thank you so
Alexandra.
much.
Thank you.
Now, bring the discussion back to the studio. Any points that Alexandra made that fascinated you, Xiang?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm glad Alexandra is on the same point, because obviously, if we are millennials and maybe Gen Z, if we can stretch it a bit, but we don't speak for everybody.
Right.
So I wasn't sure to be able to say that people do respect workplace attire and things like that. But I'm glad that Alexandra mentioned a few good points in abroad as well, in Australia as well. Gen Zs and millennials do know what's required for a business casual and things like that. And I think that's globally accepted as well.
Right. Yeah.
Certain individuals, of course, would like to wear something more free, but I think they are, we should respect their boundaries as well, but they would also know that they can do that in their profession.
Right, keeping it professional. What about you now?
I think I gotten used to the whole Zoom, Skype calls and just not dressing very, very well on the bottom half
Right,
of me.
you can't see it.
But like right now, you guys can't see, right? So I think from now on, I'll try to be a little bit more mindful of that.
I might not be wearing any trousers right now.
Because we're in the same space, respecting each other. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Alexandra.
Definitely. And now that given we are a live morning program, we always want to include our viewers in our discussion, so we ask them related questions. And we use this time to share with you what they had to say. If you take a look at the screen, we asked our viewers what they thought was appropriate work attire, and Marlene O. Parades said, depends on the nature of your work, but I think if you're meeting an important person, you should wear business attire. Niklon said, the other way to read this question is, what's your company's culture? Do they value you or you as the role you're paid to play? And Tulip said, as long as it's clean and presentable, it shouldn't matter. And I think that was Alexandra's point as well, right?
Yeah.
So here at the studio, what do you guys think about our viewers' comments?
Yeah, as Marilyn O'Paridi said, it depends on your nature of your work. As I keep mentioning as well, if you're meeting an important person, if you're going to an important meeting, you might dress a bit more casually in your office during everyday life.
Right.
But if you're going to a meeting, you know you should dress up. If you're meeting for someone for the first time, especially in a business setting, you know you've got to show up in your suit or something respectable rather than just a hoodie and sweatshirts and things like that. So I think most people do acknowledge that fact and do try to show up to work at the expected
They bring their
level.
A game on.
Exactly,
Right.
bring your A game.
What about you now?
I think the mention about the company's culture, how everybody else, if everybody else in your company is wearing yoga pants, then why not? But also, if you're clean and presentable, that is the standard, and just looking sharp, ready to work.
Exactly. And every day we do upload questions related to our discussion topic for our viewers to answer. If you want to participate, please search ArirangNews on YouTube. Look into our community tab. The link is right below. And we've already come to the final part of our discussion for today. And I think we had a really fun one because there's
for
there's so many aspects and opinions regarding this topic. But how can we narrow our differences when it comes to the appropriate dress code? Can we say there's a right or wrong way to dress at work?
Yeah, as the first point I mentioned early on in our interview session, I do think that it really depends on the time and place. Right, so it might not seem like it, but on the weekends, I dress all black. I love, the techno scene. I like tech house as a music genre.
Whoa.
I go with all sorts of different music. I start from, Portuguese fado, Brazilian, all world music basically. But, that's how I dress on the weekends. I, love casual wear as well. I love leather jackets. I love, different...
Even hoodies?
Wow.
Hoodies, yeah. That's my winter go-to look. I'll
And
wear
sneakers?
Whoa.
Yep. Black tracksuits, black
Wow.
sneakers, black t-shirt and a hoodie.
I can't imagine.
And a leather jacket because
Exactly.
it gets cold. That's all I
Completely
do.
different from all the looks here at NewsGen.
Because I gotta work. Because I gotta win the bread.
All right, and now, very briefly, what about you? Do you think there's a right or wrong way?
I don't think we can say right or wrong, but like we said with Alexandra, the smart way to do it is smart casual and be clean and presentable.
And be very professional about it.
Yes.
All right, today we talked about how the new gen thinks it's what is appropriate to wear at work, and we'll be here every day from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you the topics that young people are talking about. Special thanks to Kim Xiong
My pleasure, yeah.
and Nao Song.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. We are
News
Generation.